Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in, 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. We are at the First United Bank studio. You can call in on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. You can also hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line as you do. So we'll have a question of the day for you here in just a second. We'll discuss that question of the day at 9:30, but we'll need your answers before we get there. So you can answer that question here in a minute. I'm Rob Bro alongside Craig Wells, Lucas White in the building as well. Craig, how you doing?
Great. Happy draft day.
Happy draft day. Of course, David Bailey looks to be the first to walk across the stage. So that could be Arvell Reese. Nobody knows. We'll make our top 5 draft pick predictions at 11:15 today. We'll also have highs and lows and point counterpoint and all that stuff as we normally have on a Thursday. All right, question of the day. The 24-team playoff, does it cheapen and ruin the regular season? That's the question. So get your answers in. We'll discuss that at 9:30. Does the 24-team playoff, if they go to that, would a 24-team playoff cheapen the regular season or make it better? What do you think? And then we'll discuss that at 9:30. Of course, we had the Texas Tech chapter, National Football Foundation, a College Hall of Fame Scholar Athlete Awards dinner last night. It was nice. It was the first time I'd been over there.
It's a great organization, and they do a lot of good things. And they recognized a lot of people last night, as they have in the past, that contribute greatly to them being able to do what they do. And I guess probably 15 or 20 scholarships given last night.
20, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool, and character counts, and they make sure that those kids that are good players with good character are recognized.
A couple of shout-outs. Joe Sexton, the Liberty head coach.
Yep.
Co-coach of the year. Along with Clay White down in Idlew. He had a good speech, Clay White did. Talked about consistency and the behind-the-scenes work that you don't see. A lot of people see the Friday nights, the wins. They won 10 wins and went to the state quarterfinals last year. You also have a shout-out to the $6,000 scholarship award winner, which was provided by Group 1 Hub City Auto Group, the Coach Jess Stiles Scholarship. That went to Friendship's Jack Pollard. He had a good speech. Pollard, I met his dad before the awards banquet. He just won the powerlifting championship, I guess, the state championship. He squats like 600-700, deadlifts 600-700.
Goodness.
Bench pressing 400 something.
Is he playing next year someplace?
He didn't mention that. He didn't mention if he was going to go play somewhere, but shout out to him. And then,
congrats to him.
And then the $5,000 scholarship to the Kirby Hokut scholarship went to Liberty's Will Hudson.
Good.
So shout out to Jack Pollard and Will Hudson of Friendship and Liberty.
600 pounds.
And Joe Sexton of Liberty, the head coach. And then obviously Joey talked. He got up there. You start these things with a joke.
Yeah.
He was like, we give awards to officials? I thought that was pretty funny.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing giving awards to officials? And then he complimented the guy, but I thought that's
sort of like an oxymoron. We're clapping for the officials.
Right. So
that's just a cool event, and that's a great organization too.
Yeah, and obviously the Lubbock kids, Harrison Alexander of Lubbock High, Brayson Beck of New Home, Corin Boyd of Monterey. Champ Clanahan had the best name. He's from Shallowater. Peyton Duncan from Lubbock Cooper. Jethro Klimakosa from Coronado. Jonathan Harris from Roosevelt. Will Hudson again from Liberty. Jack Pollard from Friendship. And Donovan Torres from Estacado. So shout out to those guys.
And one of Raymar Communications' own got recognized for
Chuck did the intro, and Brad Moran was honored.
Yep, for his service to high school football and college football around the area, and well deserved, because they put a lot of time, effort, and energy into making sure that they get as many teams and many games as they possibly can on Friday nights.
And for a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
All right, the question of the day: will the 24-team playoff ruin the regular season? Get your answers in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You can find that chat line on the app. It's brought to you by Happy State Bank. In the Listen Live section of the Double T Sports Network website, doubleTSportsNetwork.com. Hey, you can also find a brand new episode of Red Raider Recon on YouTube, youtube.com/Double T Sports Network. And we just hit a milestone with Lucas following us on the Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram too. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Double T Sports Network.
And I will also, behind the scenes, tell you, Lucas wasn't made to do that. He did it on his own.
He did. I was excited about hitting the number.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll be the guy.
I'll
fall on the
sacrifice.
sword. So we appreciate that. You can be the next over there at Instagram. Reels, clips of our shows, clips of dumb games that Clint and I play. And we might get Craig involved today in a break. We'll see what happens.
It's entertaining. It is entertaining.
Clint just kills me in all the games, so I need to practice.
Good thing there's not tiny wheel repercussions for those games.
No, we're not putting any punishments on there. I would just be getting. It just would end up being me getting punished every. Well, I guess that's what this show is, anyways. Generally, or has been. Let's see. Hey, me and Collier need to paint our faces still. If we're ever together on a Friday again, we'll do that.
We have dual face painting contest. Or?
Yeah, we had a season long bet.
Okay.
That if Lucas beat the pair of us, that we would paint our faces, and Lucas pretty well dominated us.
Does he get to do the painting, or?
No, well, I guess if you wanted to. We're talking about.
I'm going to let the expert Clint do that.
We're talking about doing kiss faces, like a star on the eye, or the cat. We'll make Collier be the cat. You want to be Spaceman?
No, I'll pass.
No? We got the paints in here. You can start today.
I'll pass on the face painting.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. A little bit of breaking news before we get to the calendar. We'll discuss this more deeply in the second hour at 10 o'clock. But first, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn.
Okay.
Lawhorn. Kind of sound like I said Longhorn.
Yeah.
Lawhorn. Will transfer to Texas Tech. He led the Mountain West in scoring this season, averaging 20.7 points per game at UNLV. He was 30 points per game in the month of February.
Three pretty good guards so far in the transfer portal.
Yeah, we were trying to go through the starting five last week, and it was pretty, bleak.
Yep.
Maybe it was Monday with Collier. A little more defined now. I think Cruz, Davis, and Lawhorn are your 1-2.
Yep.
And then you go from there. And
if
you have potentially Hastings for Boston College on the hook. I haven't seen him commit anywhere after his visit. And if the 5 for 5 goes down, you're even more excited. I think a little bit. All right, let's check the calendar, Lucas.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It is April 23rd, a Thursday. And it is Impossible Astronaut Day.
Impossible Astronaut.
I think that's a Doctor Who thing.
Oh.
Are you a Doctor Who guy?
Because I could participate in that because it's impossible for me to be an astronaut.
Same. You ever watched
Doctor Who? Missed out on that.
Lucas, you ever watch Doctor Who?
Maybe an episode or two with my mom, but yeah.
Is he in relation to Dr. Strangelove?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I did watch part of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. International Creator Day. International English Language Day.
Hooray for the English language.
Now,
former teacher of English.
there you go. I'm not sure that I should say this one, but it's National Love Your Thighs Day. Hey, I'm just reading the days here. I'm just reading the days.
Wait a minute.
Love Your Thighs Day.
The chat line is lighting up as we speak.
Just reading them. National Movie Theater Day. Cherry Cheesecake Day. National English Muffin Day. Man, it is my day.
Cheesecake and English muffins. Man.
I love a good English muffin. Slay a Dragon Day. Talk Like Shakespeare Day. Should we have a segment where we talk like Shakespeare?
No.
You doth protest?
My first couple of years of teaching, I had to teach Beowulf.
Oh, yeah.
That was a struggle for me. Trust me, it was
we
a
had to read
struggle.
that.
Yeah, it was a struggle for me.
Everybody's had the Shakespeare section of senior English or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was born on this day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Shakespeare was?
Mm-hmm. Today would have been his birthday.
It's also World Table Tennis Day. Table tennis. Craig, you seem like a ping pong guy. I bet you could beat both Lucas and I at ping pong.
No. I do have a little advantage sometimes with reach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But my hand-eye coordination is probably not as good. I had a friend in high school who was about 5'9", and I'm stretching a little bit there, but he was a really good basketball player, played in college, and he excelled at ping pong, what we called it, table tennis. We called it ping pong.
I think Paul wrote about me in the Bible when he said, my right hand doesn't know what my left hand is doing.
I'm telling you, he was quick, and he could – oh, man. And those guys that can put spin on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to see that ping pong movie that came out, Marty Supreme. I never went and watched it. Lucas?
Celebrating his 64th birthday, John Hannah. 4 weddings and a funeral, The Mummy, The Hurricane, and Spartacus, I believe, are all popular movies that he was in. Then we have Jamie King. She's turning 47. White Chicks, Cheaper by the Dozen 2, Black Summer, My Bloody Valentine, just a few of the movies she was in. Tyle Cruz, pop singer-ish, had a few hits, definitely. He's turning 46. Then in the NFL, Kyle Juszczyk turning 35. Brian Burns turning 28. Jeff Driscoll turning 33. And then 2 former MLB players, Carlos Silva turning 47 and Andrew Jones turning 49. Chloe Kim, popular during the Winter Olympics, turning 26 years old.
Snowboarder.
And who is her boyfriend?
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett. Yep.
Have you seen them standing beside each other?
How do I know that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's
a bit of a height difference.
Size difference. I mean, you could pick her up and throw her, and Miles Garrett could be the one doing it. Just walk.
Then we have John Cena turning 49 and George Lopez turning 65. I used to watch George Lopez on Nick at Night when I was in high school.
Yeah. All right, 1964. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Houston Colt 45s. Pitcher Ken Johnson becomes the first major league pitcher to lose a 9-inning no-hitter. He lost to the Reds 1-0. Only the Houston Colt 45s could be the first.
I guess he was.
But this comes into play.
Guys.
This comes into play later.
All right.
And let's see, 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar plays his last regular season game. Finished with 10 points in his last game as the Lakers beat Seattle 121-117. Is he in the conversation as one of the greatest ever to play? Okay. Yeah. In 1989, any guesses?
I was weeks away from being born.
The NFL draft.
Oh, I know it. Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman, number 1, UCLA quarterback, was taken by
the Dallas
Cowboys. In 1989, also, Texas Rangers' Nolan Ryan loses a no-hitter in the 9th inning against the Toronto Blue Jays. So Nolan Ryan wanted to prove it's just not a fluke. Yeah. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And where'd my sheet go? Uh-oh.
You got it. There it is. Flip it over.
Yep, there it is. Okay. Nope.
April 3rd.
Third, right.
There you go. April
Okay.
23rd. There it
1971. This is way before you.
Yeah.
But you should remember this because it's probably gone down in the annals of Texas Tech baseball history. Ruben Garcia retired 19 straight batters and went 8 innings to earn Texas Tech 4th no-hitter in a 1-0 win over Baylor.
4th no-hitter.
And then April 23rd, 2008, you should definitely remember this one.
Yeah.
Chris Richburg, Friendship Tiger, has 3 runs and 3 RBIs and seals a cycle with a home run in the 7th as Texas Tech beat New Mexico State in one of those Tuesday New Mexico State slugfest 16-10. Chris Richburg.
If you were to hit for the cycle, what hit would you want to end on?
A home run,
yeah,
I would think.
I'd just go in order.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be the way to do it.
And the triple's the hardest, I would say. So it'd also be cool to end on the triple.
Yeah. And Chris Richburg had some speed, so he could leg out a double to a triple.
It'd be funniest to do it in reverse and rip a double to the gap and stop on first.
That would be funny. That would be good. That'd be good.
More after this.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score is the End of the Bench. And all of a sudden, Texas Tech basketball is a pretty dynamic backcourt with 2 20-point-a-game scorers at their previous stops. Now, it is Hofstra and UNLV, but very highly coveted, both of these guys, Cruz Davis and Dre Gibbs Longhorn. So, pretty exciting there. And then obviously the kid from Wyoming as well.
Yep. And I think 3 different styles of guard, too. I think there are each one of them are fitting a piece that he wants, and I don't think you'll see as much scoring out of one of them. I don't think you'll see as much point guard play out of one of them, but you will see point guard play out of one of them. And
if you could have 2 point guards, basically, and they're both able to bring it down, and
if you're
kind of a hot hand thing.
What you hope, at least what I hope happens out of these 3 is you get a certified 1 and a certified 2, and then one that can play 1 or 2. And
at the end of a game, be able to go to the rim.
Oh, no
and
doubt.
shoot free throws.
Yeah. And
that's what you didn't really have last year consistently. Somebody who could put the ball on the floor and go to the rack and draw contact.
And from video clips, it looks like we may have gotten that on our first transfer.
Cruz Davis, certainly.
Yeah.
But I think Lawhorn can do it too.
Yeah.
It's hard to say Lawhorn.
Yeah.
All right, you got a counterpoint for us?
I do.
All right, what's your point?
All right. My point is...
What's your point, Craig?
Let's talk about, and you talked a little bit about it earlier, about the 24-game playoff, okay? Let's talk about the group of 6 and whether, and you alluded to it, to have their own playoff or not. I am of the opinion that I don't like the college football playoff taking one, and it may not be James Madison or, whoever, Boise State. I personally think that there ought to be one representing the game, the group of 6, and that's it. Take the very best team, the college football playoff rankings or whatever you want to do. The conference champion that's the best or whatever, however you want to do it. But take one, because I think there is a huge difference in football between Group of 6 and Power 4. The last place team in the Big Ten can be very competitive to be the very best of Group of 6 over a season, not just one game, because Boise State can beat you one game.
Yeah, one game, you never know.
James Madison can beat you one game, but over a season, Minnesota to me is better than Boise State over a season.
Yeah. If you just flip the two,
yep,
I think you would have at least similar results.
Right.
I think Minnesota last year would have done exactly what Boise State did, and Boise State would have, been 7-5 in the Big Ten.
Right. I go back to, just real quick, the 2023 Liberty Flames. They went 13-0 the entire season. They play Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl and get walloped 45-6.
Yeah. And Liberty was a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the better Group of 6 teams to come out. You're right.
Counterpoint, have 0 in the playoffs.
Okay. That's right.
Make a G6 playoff.
Yeah.
I think you're careening toward this anyways. Just have a Power 5 playoff, Power 4 playoff, and all the people that have a bleeding heart for Oregon State and Washington State, they shouldn't have allowed themselves to be in a position to not be in one of these leagues.
Right.
If they would have had a little gumption, if they wouldn't have been, oh, well, we don't think we're a fit in the Big 12, and the Big 12's not good, you could have been here.
Yep.
You could have been here before the 4 corner schools were here. You could have made that move. You could have seen the writing on the wall, and you could have done more in the last 20 years to force your hand. You didn't.
Made a bigger commitment, yeah.
Now you're in the Mountain West.
Yep.
Congratulations, the Pac West, whatever you want to call it. Just take the top 60-ish teams. Now, if you want to have a Power 4 playoff and a G6 playoff and do some realigning some more and say, in a 3-year window, if you don't do this, this, and this, Rutgers, Maryland, we're trading you for Boise State, and there's a relegation of sorts. And if Boise State is, 35-6 or whatever it is,
yep,
and are dominating that level, and Rutgers is 6-35, whatever it is, flip them, have some relegation, and I don't know that everyone would do that. If Coastal Carolina gets hot and Georgia Tech falls off or Boston College falls off, have some relegation there. You could match the Sun Belt in the SEC. You could match the AAC in the Big 12. You could match.
And this is what professional soccer does now.
Yeah, have a little relegation.
Yep. And explain relegation like you just did. Would you do it off of 1 year's results?
No. I think you'd have to do it on like a 3 to 5 year window.
Okay.
And say, every 3 years, we're going to have the analytically worst team and the analytically best team switch. Now, in soccer, it's every year, and it's the top 2 in the lower league and the bottom 2 in the higher league, and they flip places. I don't know that you would do that every year, and I think the schedules are too hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But if you did every 3 years, I think you could work that out.
Yeah. My thought process in having one group of 6 team is, like Lucas alluded to, you may have that one team that goes 13-0 and they're really good. You have your group of 6 playoff, but you're going to go play with the big boys. So that helps the group of 6 become a little bit more even because you got this one outlier over here that's really, really good that's going to be in the CFP. I just think you start getting 2 or 3, it just takes away from somebody else in the P4 that probably was borderline and should have been in. I can think of some teams last year that should have been in instead of Boise.
Yeah. Well, and name 5 G6 teams right now that you think if they were in the Power 4, they'd make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
People have been saying Boise forever, but you've had chances to make them move up, and they just never did.
Yeah.
It took the Pac-12 literally needing 10 members.
Yep.
To get Boise State in the Power 4. And that gimmick blue field that nobody wants to play on.
There's certain teams out there that I think are not close to borderline, but they're closer than most to borderline in that group of 6. Teams like New Mexico, Utah State,
Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis, that are pretty much at the top of their conference consistently, but still, I don't think any of those that I just mentioned are are P4 teams.
You can talk about San Diego State and UNLV and certainly New Mexico, at least last year. They're not historically.
That's why they're not consistently,
But again, and if after 3 years nobody meets the relegation criteria, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to move somebody.
And analytics are good enough that you could use that as your benchmark.
More after this.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench. NFL draft night coming up. First round tonight. We've got predictions. Now, Craig, you said you had a crazy prediction. I'm going to do mine.
Okay.
We'll go to Lucas.
Okay.
And then we'll end with the bang here.
Okay.
And we'll probably just have draft talk the rest of the hour. So if you like the NFL draft, you're in the right spot. All right, number 1 overall pick. I think it's been widely regarded as the number 1 overall pick. Fernando Mendoza, Raiders, by the way of the Big Ten. Number 2, David Bailey. I'm locking it in. I've locked it in for about a week now. I was a little bit worried for a while. Not worried today. David Bailey, the Jets, out of the Big 12, out of Texas Tech, coached by Joey McGuire. Number 2 overall. Number 3. Now, this pick does not make sense to me, but it just seems to be what's happening, and it makes sense for the Cardinals to do this. I'm going to go Jeremiah Love at 3. Do they have holes elsewhere? Yes. Are they a bad franchise? Yes. Did the Giants do this with Saquon Barkley and get a running back when they didn't need one? Yes. Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals. Number 4, Arvell Reese. Off the board to Sala, the Titans. Big Ten guy, by the way. And then the Giants, I think they're gonna make 2 top 10 picks. And this one is either going to be Sonny Styles or Jordan Tyson. I think they go with Jordan Tyson. I think they want Jackson Dart to be really successful. And I think a Tyson-Malik Neighbors combo is pretty dangerous. So I think Jordan Tyson is the pick. By the way, Big 12 school, Jordan Tyson. So just to reiterate, Big 10, Big 12, Independent, Big 10, Big 12 in the top 5. Lucas, what do you have? Any different? All the same?
1 and 2 are the same.
Okay.
Mendoza 1, Bailey 2. At 3, going to the Cardinals, I have Sonny Styles.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be their best pick.
Yeah, I
Him
agree.
or the Miami offensive tackle.
And then 4, going to the Titans, Arvell Reese.
Yep.
And then I actually do agree with you on 5. I do think Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate. They're going to get a receiver.
One of them.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them. All right, Craig.
All right, Mendoza. Nope, no surprise there.
Uh-huh.
Bailey, no surprise for me. I think the Jets have sent some crazy signals out just to play with everybody.
Yeah.
But number 3, projection is Jeremiah Love. You say Jeremiah Love. I'm going to predict a trade.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys are going to trade for the number 3 spot with the Cardinals, and they're going to take Arvell Reese.
That would be the player to do it for.
Right. And the Cardinals and the Cowboys will give up their number 12.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. I'm all in.
Even swap. You get your first round pick. You're losing 12, but so what? So that's that.
And then a future second, or
Right.
third. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which you can figure out later.
And then Styles will be next to the Titans. But then the Giants, I think, are going to trade with the Cardinals.
So the Cardinals get back in.
Right, get back in. But there's going to be another team involved to where the Cardinals pick up a 30, 31, 32 pick, and they're going to take Ty Simpson at that pick. And at the number 5, I think they'll take an offensive tackle from Utah, Fano.
So you think the Cardinals will pick it? Let's
Right.
get this right.
All right.
5,
Right.
12.
And they're going to trade the 5. I mean, yeah, they're going to trade the 5
They're
to
going
it.
to trade the 3.
They're going to
And
trade
then
the
get back
3.
to 5.
That's right.
So they'll pick a 5, 12.
Right. And they're going to trade the 12.
Uh-huh. They're going to trade the 12 to get the 5?
No, they're going to stay. All right. They're going to
So they're picking
going to
5, 12, and 31. They're getting
Right.
3 first-round picks.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And they're going to get off the tackle at 5.
Right. Fano from Utah.
And then
I don't know who.
somebody like Caleb Downs or somebody.
Yeah, and I think that pick is up for trade too, because I think they can get Ty Simpson at 30 whatever.
Yeah. I wonder if they could. If Tate's there, I would assume they could get like a Reuben Bain maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Reuben Bain could fall to 12.
I tell you somebody else that might fall to 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, if he's not taking it 3 or 4,
Yeah.
there's not really. I mean, a lot of teams are going to be enticed.
Yeah.
I swear, Craig,
yeah.
if you just put the Cowboys at 12, having to choose between somebody and Jeremiah Love, and they choose Jeremiah Love, I'm coming after you. By the way,
you know what? I had
Jeremiah's at 12. No.
I had that down first, and then I changed my mind.
No.
To Reese.
No.
Because I think it's too glaring.
I mean,
need defense.
Craig Wells, it was a funny bit last year that I quit the Cowboys. If they move up to 3 and take an offensive player, I'm going to drive to Frisco. I swear to God, I'm going to drive to Frisco and knock on the door and have a word with Jerry Jones. I'm going to be like Bill Clinton walking in, and he's going to have to stop his proceedings to come talk to me, because what in the world would that be?
And people, you can see this on YouTube.
That cannot
TikTok.
Yeah, I'll live stream it. I'll live stream the drive. It probably won't be safe for work, but it'll be after hours anyways. I'm driving to Frisco.
I think you're pretty safe.
If they pick it up, I swear, Craig, if they pick an offensive player, I'm driving to Frisco.
Yeah, I think you're pretty safe. I think Reese is worth moving up.
Reese, Downs, probably not to 3, but somebody like that. I mean, if you got if Mansour felt the LSU corner, if he fell to 12, I'd be happy. If you got Ruben Bain, I'd be happy, because you're going to play 3-4, and I think you can play that edge rusher and hold the line up on the line. Sonny Styles would be amazing, because I think he can play inside or outside in a 3-4 and wear the green dot. I'd prefer to get Downs at 12, even though you add some safeties. Get Downs at 12, build up the middle, and then I really want Jacob Rodriguez leading this defense, and put the green dot on him and have him be the leader of the Dallas Cowboys defense. I think it makes a lot of sense now. He also makes sense to several other franchises. We talked about it yesterday, me and Clint, that he really does seem like a Vrabel kind of guy. Well, maybe a month ago. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense today. By the way, Vrabel will not be at the draft tonight.
That's right.
He's
in rehab or something?
he's gonna go see a therapist with this other guy that needs to touch grass on the Chatline.
Oh my! I feel like the 3 spot, the expectation of Love. The Cardinals don't need Jeremiah Love. They need players in every position, but they don't need Jeremiah Love. Would they take him in a heartbeat? But I just think that that's a pretty good spot to be, because one, is Mendoza. The Giants are going to take Arvell Reese or David Bailey. And we predict Bailey, which I think is right on. But that 3 spot, I just think that's trade territory to me. And I see Jeremiah Love falling, and I see maybe the Cardinals trading it, and then trading and maybe getting a 30 pick or something. And
it makes so much sense for the Cardinals to move back and get more capital. Get more capital.
That's what I see happening.
It makes sense for the Cowboys to do that at 20, but not at 12.
Right.
You're either moving up or picking at 12. Hey, not only is Joey McGuire trying to get fired here, we are. Rob, Craig, and Lucas, even though you'll do a great job, I'm calling on Heist to get you fired. You got us. Oh, no.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. It is time for Ask the Benchwarmers. Get your questions in on the 8th Flooring Center chat line. A lot of stuff going on today. If you have questions about the NFL draft, if you have questions about the 5 for 5, or comments, or concerns, dreams, hopes, if you want to make a new account, pal, friendo over there, and say some other BS, you can. It's always welcome. Always welcome. Any cleanup today, Craig? Did we miss anything you wanted to talk about? Did you want to go talk about the Stars more and their big win last night? Any thoughts on the NBA playoffs?
Yeah, the Stars did win. Into that conversation.
Double overtime. Yeah, we'll talk about it. That happened. Yep.
A thing that I'm really curious about what's going to happen is what do the Rangers have to do before the front office is changed? I mean, are they close? I mean, when I say
Front office changed in what way?
We start over with a new front office. I mean, they're fresh off of a 23 World Championship Series, World
Series. But yeah, I mean, it was recent.
But
he did it right.
It just seems like that we're going the wrong direction.
They've not made a lot of great.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
moves.
I
think it was a good. I think they moved on from Simeon a year late. I think they moved on from Adolis Garcia a year late. Though he hosed the guy at the plate the other day. I do miss that. I think Nimmo was a great signing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, though, they're just satisfied with putting a bunch of washed-up guys in the bullpen. Now, they've got a lot of youth there now. They're trying to get Cole Winn going. They've got Collier up now. Garcia's a bit of a fresh face. You just have to. I don't think you're in a position to be messing around with the front office yet.
Yeah. And we're only 30 games into it, so
right. And you're a game out of the lead of the AL West, Greg. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I just know there's a lot of disgruntled Ranger fans when it comes to pitching.
Yeah.
And from the last 3 years, you haven't gone from good to better to better. You just kind of stayed the same or gone backwards, one of the two.
This is a good question. And
if it's that easy to go get pitching, everybody go get it.
Right.
But
well, it's also I haven't looked at the stats in a couple weeks, but Josh Sborz is down there at AAA. You seemingly have some other guys that have been successful at the major league level, but for whatever reason are at AAA. So, bench warmers. What did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Like a high school kid?
Yeah, just like did you want to be a fireman or a little kid?
Okay. First of all, you got to realize the era, okay?
Okay.
ESPN was not invented.
Yeah.
Newspapers were a big deal. Radio was a big deal when it came to sports. And television sports was really in its infancy, but it was starting to get hot.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, I took a journalism class my sophomore year and was on the school newspaper. I got the bug real bad, and I wanted to be either a sports writer for a newspaper or doing play-by-play on a radio. Because sports talk, nobody even did that.
Right.
But I wanted to do that. And television never really entered my mind. But I think newspaper was at the top.
Yeah. That's a fun.
Yeah. And then my sophomore year in college, in Hobbs, the newspaper sports editor died suddenly from a heart attack or something.
Uh-huh.
And I got to fill in for him for 3 months. And whatever bug I had, I got it even worse.
Yeah.
But then I went and worked in a television station during school, and I kind of got that bug a little bit. But that some kind of media, I think, and sports related.
You fulfilled those dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
cool.
sure did.
Lucas?
Yep.
When I was like really little, I wanted to be a superhero.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but I think what I really wanted to be realistically was like a pilot or something like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of travel the world and just see different places when I was younger.
The superhero in my time was one guy, Superman. That was it, and I didn't feel like I could.
Now there's a billion.
Yeah, I didn't know how to fly, so I gave up that dream.
Yeah. I grew up in the coach's office with my dad. I wanted to be a coach.
Okay.
I wanted to be a football coach.
That was down the list, but it was on my list for sure.
And then in high school, I listened to the Williams and Hyatt show every day and wanted to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I feel like I'm living the dream every day.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not too many people, and I'm very blessed to get to do 3 or 4 careers.
Yeah.
I got to be in business. I wanted to do that. I got to be in media. I wanted to do that. And then because of my dad being an athletic director, I wanted to be in athletic administration somehow, and I got to do that. So I'm a blessed man.
Full life there.
Yep.
And plenty left to go.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to give the eulogy there.
Yeah.
Rob wanted to be a professional quad inspector. Mr. Hot Dogs, I didn't know if you were listening earlier, but it is Love Your Thighs Day.
Yeah.
So, love your thighs, man. Start bench cut the lunch options here. Potbelly, Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's. I'm going Mike's Way, Freaky Fast, and then Potbelly third. That would be my go-tos. And I'm going in the tub or just a regular Freaky Friday, Freaky Fast one.
Yeah, I go with your number one. That's my favorite
Mike's
right
Way,
now.
Yeah, I like the red wine vinegar is just
The herbs they put on there are
like
pretty
the
good
perfect
too.
flavor.
Yeah, I agree.
I would go Potbellies first just to go see my boy Travis.
There you go.
Yeah.
A couple of good thoughts on the Rangers. When they won the World Series in that previous offseason and that offseason, Ray Davis and the boys paid.
Yeah.
They were trying to be a winner.
Yeah.
Once you won a World Series and Bally Sports died and you're going to free plus, victory plus, $100 a month, whatever it is, $100 a year, that subscription model, he closed the books. And so Chris Young with money, Chris Young without money.
Yeah, that's very well put.
And you've also played, I think Jared Sandler said, of your 26 games when you were 13-13, you played the most road games out of anybody ever in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
Was your start to the schedule
Yep.
against some pretty good teams. You've played, 8 home games?
And I will tell you this, in my opinion, playing on a away mound affects pitchers more than any other position of playing away from home.
Bobby Hot Dogs made it a start bench process cut and said Firehouse.
It'd be on my list. No, I don't know how high, but it'd be
Yeah, if I'm going hot sandwich, I'm going to one of those two. If I want a cold sandwich, I'm going to the other two.
Yeah. Yep.
Or I'm making my own sandwich.
Yeah. Speaking of lunch.
Hey, more sports radio up next as Chois Woodman lives his dream of being the minister of misinformation. More radio next, but it's the bottom line.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.